What's up, everybody? This is your girl, Midnight. Midnight got her collard greens and cabbage and a piece of fried bread in front of her. But this is bullying part two because my first live that I did was strictly supposed to be about bullying in general and bullying the handicap, right? But it kind of turned into more of a beef live because I feel like two parties who were talking about the beefs that they had amongst one another. So it kind of swayed away from the real topic at hand, which was bullying in general and bullying the disabled, right? And I also just want to clear up for the fact, just say this too for the record. We won't be adding anyone on here, or although you could voice your opinion in the comments section, but I want to kind of stay on the topic at hand of bullying in all aspects. I mean, we talking about social media bullying, we talking about children being bullied at school, we talking about adults being bullying. That's in general. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it was really supposed to be about. But as I said, it was more about a beef and it swayed away from the topic that we were really supposed to be pinpointing. So I'm gonna kind of pinpoint it here, but I'm also gonna say a couple of things that, because the live was so all over the place with the guest that was on the live, and it's just like, okay, I really didn't get to even ask the questions that I really wanted to say or ask, but for the record, now midnight ain't no food. I'm far from a food. So when we have both parties coming up on my live, on that live, I'm speaking about the live where I had all those guests on there. Now, everybody was allowed to speak their piece. As I give one, I'm going to give all the opportunity to do so. But I'm far from a fool. As I said, that live was more about beefs and who the beefs are between. And so both sides were just basically trying to, I guess, persuade or make a lot of us think that who's behind this page, who's not behind this page. But see, one thing I am going to say here and now is when two people do not like each other or when multiple people do not like somebody, it's easy for that person to say that it is the other person that you consider to be or not because y'all have a beef, vice versa. It will be easy for that person to come to me and say, oh, that's her because y'all have a beef. Neither side have a way of proving who is behind what. But when a person operates with so many fake pages, that's where the problem come in. See, if you don't operate with those fake pages out the gate, you wouldn't have to be accused of such things, you know what I'm saying, in the future if you're not a person that operates like that out the gate. So I'm not one of those people that is the type that you can come and say, well, that's not XYZ and no proof to prove what you're saying. Vice versa. The other side can't come to me and say, this is not me, this is XYZ with no proof. Because see, if you both was in court, neither side will win the case because the proof is not there. You understand me? You have to be able to have something behind what it is you state. So I know that when two people or multiple people do not like someone, or when people just do not like someone in general, it's easy for people to pinpoint or point fingers and say, well, this is this person doing this, and the other person to come back and say that that's the person doing that. I don't know who's doing it, and I'm sticking to that story. That's the story I'm sticking to. But what I do know is, just based off the fact that one of the people have a reputation on this here internet of doing such things, whether that they don't know if it's you or not, they're going to assume it's you because of your record of behaviors that you display on the internet. So they're going to feel like that's you out the gate. When we don't really know if it is indeed her. We don't know if it's indeed the other person. As I said, it's not no proof. Just saying it, that's not good enough. Okay? And that's for both parties. I just want that to be clear and known. It's not good enough. It's not concrete. Now that will be just pointing a finger and hearsay. You know what I'm saying? Because both of you are beefing. So of course, when something bad happens to one, they assume that it's the person that they're beefing with. That goes on both sides. That's how it works. But as I said to one of the ladies on here, you will probably be going down for it only because of, like I said, your track record. It's going to be the thing that takes you down, and it's going to be the thing that makes most people believe that I don't care if this girl is saying it's not me. I don't care if she's saying it's not me, it's her, because of your record that you have on here. And your record speaks louder than the words that you say when you say it's not you. Not to mention you did admit to having fake pages, and that is indeed a fake page. Okay, let's put that out there as well. That is indeed a fake page with that name. So everybody's working off fake pages. Like I said, you know, if you don't work off too many fake pages, you won't have too many problems with your name being brought up into things like that if you're not known with working behind fake pages. But bullying bullying is very important for people to understand, like, the severity of what bullying can do to somebody. This ain't gonna be no long live because I got my collard greens and cabbage and my fried hot water cornbread in front of me, honey, and I'm gonna eat it in peace. But I wanted to hop on this and piggyback off my live because it was kind of like I said, it turned into a live about the beef that both sides has going on. Okay, that's y'all beef. Y'all gonna have to figure that part out. But we talking about the a topic at hand with bullying. Now, I wasn't pleased with what I saw on here. I've already voiced that several times in multiple lives. I wasn't pleased with what I saw on the other woman's live, and I voiced my opinion about that. So we trying to figure out who this page is. We will never know who that page is unless that person behind that fake page make a mistake. Because not neither one of them sides, not neither party from one of those sides will come out and actually admit that this is their page, even if it is theirs. That person will have to make a mistake on some kind of level to present themselves. All right. So we would never know who is that. That's why I kept saying, I don't care who's behind the page. That's obsolete. We don't care about whose page it is. And the point is that whoever is behind the page is doing hideous behaviors with targeting people and being a bully. Just like the behaviors that we all saw displayed on the internet towards another young lady on this internet, and we didn't like it. Bullying is really, really horrible, and it's so severe. And people just don't realize that a lot of bullying causes a lot of people to take themselves out. And we ain't talking about just no adults. We're talking about children, because children are bullied in school. Some people are bullied young as kids. And just like bullying mess with a kid's mind psychologically to where they feel like they don't want to go to school anymore and they start displaying weird behaviors, not wanting to go to school, not wanting to talk or express him or herself to her parents or whomever the guardian is, not wanting to do things that the kid once loved, like, meaningful activities. Their behaviors just totally change because they're being bullied. And see, a lot of people do not pay attention to that neither. So that does not change. The same signs and symptoms that you see in children, you're going to probably see in adults. It psychologically bothers people when they constantly bully. It makes them feel such a way. It makes them feel like I can't defend myself. It makes them feel like I don't want to be here no more because I would rather not be here if I have to deal with this turmoil every day of my life. This is what bullying does to children, adults, and so on and so forth. Then when you talk about the mentally challenged, as I said, I'm gonna keep my statement on this too. Anybody who can find that in their heart, I really don't have no respect for you on that level when you do stuff like that. And that's not going to change. I'm sticking to that. That's what I mean. That's what I truly mean. I don't like to see it in no one. I don't like to see bullies in children. None of us think about it as parents. If you have children right now, as a parent, you are not going to want your child to come to you every day crying and weeping to you as to, I don't want to go to school, and you don't understand why, because your child don't want to really tell you what's going on. But you don't even want to see your child in that kind of position or that predicament. As a parent, you don't. So you're going to try to do what you can to protect your child, right? So if you don't like your children going through school life being bullied, what makes you think that it's okay to do that in your adult life to other adults? That effects remains the same. It has the same effect on adults. Don't you know that a lot of adults have outed themselves and took themselves out behind bullies? This is just what happens. This is just how severe, this is just how important it is for people to actually let their children know, and the people that you are bringing up, whether these ain't your children or not, whoever you raising. This is why it's important for you to let them know that boundaries need to be set, rules need to be in place, structure needs to be had, because if all of those things lack, then that's going to be a child that don't care about what he or she do to other people. That's just what it is. Okay? And stop being one-sided, people. You can't accept this being done when you watch and see the other people do this, because bullying comes in all kind of forms. Yeah, we all have popped off on here. Yeah, we all have had ops on here. Yeah, we all have had beefs on here, maybe once or twice with people. And yeah, we speak out of our emotions about how we feel at that moment. A lot of us do. When we feel upset and we want to just pop our ish on the person, we pop our ish in that manner because we're acting off of that emotion of how we feel at that moment. We all have done that, but what we all have not done is target a certain population of people. That would never happen, because I got too much respect. And when I say respect, I got way too much respect in my heart. I got way too many morals and values. Honey, I was brought up in a different way. I'm cut from a whole nother cloth. I'm not like most. I'm cut from a whole nother cloth, honey. So you would never see Midnight on here. Can't nobody with a handicap or a disability or elderly person make me that mad to where I'm going to go that route. If I feel like, okay, a person is definitely not mentally challenged, but it is some messy old ones. Let me use that for an example. If I feel like it's some messy elderly women on here, as I said, I'm going to have to ask God to hold my tongue, but I'm going to get you out of my platform. I'm going to get you as furthest away from me before I even could disrespect y'all. Because I got way too much love in my heart for the elderly, so I'm not going to even go there with you. I'm going to have to hold my tongue, but I'm going to get rid of you. Because you will never see me doing that with mentally challenged. I'm sorry. It's just nobody that can get me that pissed off to do that. I'm sorry. It's just not happening. So people need to just keep in mind what bullying can really do to somebody's headspace, and what kind of headspace you really are putting somebody else in, not knowing what a person is actually going through in his or her actual reality as in life. Without knowing what he or she is actually going through in his or her reality, you don't know what you're adding. You don't know what kind of fire you may be adding to that person's brain and that person's thoughts already, when they may already feel a certain kind of way. This could be a child. This can be a youth. This could be a adult. This could be a mid-aged adult. This could be an elderly person. We don't care. We don't know what people go through. Hence, as to why people need to learn to kind of watch what it is you say because of that fact alone. We just do not know somebody else's struggles. We do not know somebody else's thought process. We do not know what somebody else is going through in their life, what they're going through, what they're experiencing. We don't know that. When most of y'all come down this live right here, leave your comments on here, and I stick to what I said. It's easy for people to come on here and point fingers at one another because y'all don't get along. But again, midnight is not no fool. We don't know who doing it. And like I said, when you operate too many times off fake pages, honey, you just give yourself some kind of a look. You know what I'm saying? If anybody's operating with a fake page, that's something that I will never see myself doing. It's not that deep for me. I have two pages, my personal page and this blog page. I'm never gonna go to the extent of creating another whole email, another name, just to be able to follow somebody or watch them. It's not that deep for me. So when you a person that operate with so many fake pages, I mean, you also put yourself in a position to where people can call you out and say, hey, you might be doing this because you do have XYZ amount of fake pages. You know what I'm saying? But the evidence is not concrete. Not enough for me, honey. Just by somebody saying it wasn't me out their mouth and no proof, you can't prove this, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all into it or whatnot. That's beside the point. And that ain't got nothing to do with me. The point of it all is whomever it is and whoever on this internet here do stuff like that, it's shame on you. It's truly shame on you. That's what bullying does to people. It's very serious. I don't think people really understand the severity of bullying, whether it's cyberbullying or being bullied at school. People don't really understand the severity of that and what it does to folks. It takes folks' lives. That's what it do. And if a person ain't strong enough to deal with his or her own bullies or deal with his or her own thoughts of how to process this, it can really be hard for that person. That's the kind of person that's willingly ready to take themselves out. Have you ever heard a person say to you, man, I would rather not wake up if my life has to be this way? I would rather not go to school if I have to deal with sitting next to somebody who terrifies me and does all of these hideous things to me. I don't know how to talk to my parents because maybe I'm afraid of talking to my parents because they're going to look at me and punish me for me letting someone have that much control over me. But I don't know how to I don't know how to express myself to my parents. I don't know how to go to my teachers. I don't know how to go to a counselor. I don't know how to go to somebody as a big sister or a big brother. As an adult, I don't know. I can't express myself because when I try to express myself to people, they look at me as if I'm weak. Okay? So I just keep all of these different emotions bottled up inside of me because I don't know who I can talk to because somebody's going to use this information I'm trying to explain and express to them against me as a weak individual. This is what bullying does. It does just that. I'm going to tell you this now. If you are being bullied, this is for people who may come across my live and you just sitting listening to me talk. But it's hitting close to home with you because you're going through this right now in your life. Tell you like this now. Grab a hold of yourself here. You go to the person who you trust. I don't care if this is a child, you go to your teacher. Go to your parents first if you can. Try to express yourself to your parents the best way you can. And hopefully your parents understand. If you feel like you can't talk to your parents, go talk to a teacher, a counselor, a social worker, but try to get somebody in your corner who can at least defend you because you feel like you can't defend yourself. If this is an adult and you're dealing with mentally challenged issues or medical issues and you feel like you're being bullied because of those issues, I'm going to advise you to do the same thing. Confide in somebody who you actually can trust. Confide in somebody who you can actually fully express yourself to. And hopefully that person, he or she, understands you to where he or she can give you some great advice. But don't get to the point where you feel like life ain't worth living because of somebody else. Do not give somebody that kind of power over your life. They will not win. They will not win, is what you need to say to yourself every day. They will not win. Do not give people that kind of control and power over your life. Do not. And people, yes, everybody say, well, we all have an opinion. We should be able to express it, especially on social media, because a lot of stuff is placed on social media. And that's true. A lot of things are placed on social media. In your opinion, it might be something that you can express. It is. We have freedom of speech. But it's sometimes the way we say things to people, it can be said in a different manner. I feel like everybody is adults here. I feel like if we have problems with one another as adult people, we should be able to talk it out like adults. And if you just feel like you can't, leave it right there where it stands. You just cannot. So that means just leave it there and don't worry about it again. But we're adults here. We shouldn't be displaying kiddie behaviors, okay? So that's what a lot of us doing on here, displaying the behaviors of a kid. Bullying needs to stop. In all areas. All areas. And that's how I'm seeing it. I'm sticking to that. Also, I'm going to throw something else in here. I want y'all to know, because a lot of y'all might not understand what mandation means. We're going to end with this little statement here. I am, it ain't no considered, I am a mandated reporter, meaning that if I witness a person doing self-harm to self or another, I have the right, I'm obligated, not the right, I'm obligated to report what I just witnessed. If I hear so many people come up on here, because a lot of you put yourself in trick boxes. A lot of y'all don't realize that you put yourself in trick boxes when you receive so many of these perks and assistances, and you don't realize what you say on here. This is why I said another thing, people need to watch what they say. But when you put yourself in that kind of position and you up on here doing all that rah-rah, if I suspect that a person is misusing resources or the system in any kind of way, I'm obligated to report. I'm obligated, I don't have the right. I'm obligated as a mandated reporter to report my findings. And once I report them in, to whomever I report them in, they do what they need to do from their own after, okay? But I just want that to be known, because I got a lot of people under that live that really don't understand what mandation is. So I'm just figuring like I can clear it up for you a little bit right here. And I hope this cleared it up for you. That's what mandated reporters do. They're obligated legally to report anything that is witnessed to cause harm to self or others and children, or any misuse of any assistance, because that's fraud. The word is fraud for that. That's what you call fraud. When you misuse a system or misuse a resource or two, that means you're lying or portraying to do something to be able to fit the criteria and getting it, but you really don't fit it. But then you don't realize that you come on here and say so many things. That's fraud. Another word for that is fraud, fraudulent. I'm obligated to report. Just wanted to clear that up for some of the ones in the back who really didn't know what mandation meant. I just felt I'd help you out there. And as to why people should not do so much on this thing on internet, because a lot of people put themselves in the position that they put themselves in. They really do. This is your girl Midnight. This stuff's so good. I said what I said. I'm not one of those that can be told anything. I'm sorry. So as I said, nobody knows who that fake page is, and nobody ever gonna know who it is unless that fake page actually make a mistake and present him or herself. But I'm not gonna be the one to believe that just because somebody's saying it's somebody else that I should believe that, and you don't have no proof, or that I'm gonna believe her saying that it's them and she don't have no proof. No, we're not rocking like that. I don't know who the hell it is and really don't care. And it's funny that we don't see that page anymore after that live. I mean, have anybody even seen that page posting up anywhere? Because I can't find the motherfucking page. I couldn't find it out the gate. Another thing, try to pipe down on, all of these fake pages and things like that, and doing all of that kind of behavior just to be able to watch somebody because you're blocked somewhere. If so many of y'all want to operate on a lot of these fake pages, y'all won't have to worry about y'all names being dragged in nothing out the first place. Because, see, you shouldn't have to operate like that. It's not that serious for me. I'll just tell you that right off the rip. It's not. For me to do all that and do all that trolling, see, it's a lot of people on here that does that. A lot. They don't have nothing else better to do but troll. Also, for all bloggers, for that fact, or influencers, watch out for some of these people who are watching y'all. Because like I said, a lot of followers keep up a lot of mess too. And whether y'all influencers or digital creators or whatever you call you, a blogger, whether y'all want to believe this or not, it's the 100% truth. So be careful about who's actually watching you, and actually observe the attentions of people who's watching you, because some of them are just watching you to only be messy. Some of them are only bone carriers. They only tune into your lives because they want to be messy and carry bones other places. Those are what you call messy followers. So please be careful about the people that is really watching you, and observe them closely. When a lot of bloggers and influencers be thrown off as to how stuff is still going on as long as it's going on, it be some of these followers keeping that fire burning. They add fuel to it every time. They don't never let it rest. Just remember that as well. This is your girl Midnight. I'm going to tune back to my greens and cornbread because it's so good. Y'all come through this live here. Make sure you sprinkle the live. Do a replay on the live. Leave your opinion in the live. I like to see some thoughts and comments in the live on this one because, like I said, my last live kind of got shied away from the topic at hand because I felt like that live was more about how somebody's mess started and why they beefing the way that they beefing. when it wasn't really was supposed to be about that. It was supposed to be about bullying and why people are choosing to target the mentally challenged population. So we just stuck on the topic of bullying and what bullying does to people in this here live. So make sure you come through and sprinkle this live. Leave your comments in the comment section on this live. And make sure you press that tag along button as well. This is your girl Midnight. I will holler back at y'all tomorrow at a later time when Midnight has the time to do so. If I don't, I will see you all first thing bright and early when I'm in a community Monday morning. Y'all have a good one.